Hello everyone, my name is Jasmina Salihović and these are my dear colleagues Sara, Bosnić and Leontina, Jurić. When we started doing our policy research, we were thinking that we were given an amazing opportunity to speak about whatever we want. So how to take advantage of this amazing opportunity?
Since we are all in public service, we were considering about public administration reform. We wanted to do something for our institutions, for our people, and for individuals from our communities. So, what were the most effective activities and ideas in the past that ensured all of us to be standing right here in front of you?
I would say many. If someone did not invent glasses, maybe I wouldn't be able to stand in front of you today. Maybe I wouldn't be able to finish my education and start working. Maybe you would consider me as a disabled person.
The problem we analyze is the lack of transparency in the employment process with focus on employment of persons with disabilities. I will try to explain this problem through a broader perspective through this chart. So we started our research with our complex structure, that is our 4 levels of government, each with their competencies. The legislation is mainly not harmonized within VIH, so the process of recruitment differs on all 4 levels. Analyzing all of these laws and rulebooks related to our matter, we concluded there is no mechanism that would monitor implementation of this legislation. Also, we put main focus on persons with disability and how accessible this process is to them. I would say it is not accessible, and my colleague Sara, she will say more about this matter. The complex process has led to lack of transparency in the process and the citizen mistrust in the public service processes.
The complex government structure can be confusing and difficult to grasp. In order to achieve the key and ultimate goal of public administration reform in Bosnia and Herzegovina, a number of key requirements need to be in place. The application of the principles of merit and equal treatment at all stages of employment, carrying out the recruitment and selection procedures in a more efficient manner, and ensuring the principles of equal access, transparency, and fairness are applied throughout the process.
People with disabilities in Bosnia and Herzegovina face challenges and obstacles in their life and work on a daily basis. People with disabilities have a right to be a part of community, to work and be employed. Also, they have a right to access information using digital tools offered by information and communication technologies, especially in the public sector. We need to respect rights of persons with disabilities. Nowadays, rights of persons with disabilities are not respected in Bosnia and Herzegovina in the process of employment in public administration. For example, websites of public institutions in Bosnia and Herzegovina do not deliver informations in a visual format accessible for persons with visual disabilities. In that process, equal conditions for all citizens have to be provided.
This policy paper targets future civil servants in the field of employment, people with disabilities, as well as decision makers.
Several methodological approaches and tools were used for the purpose of data collection while developing this policy paper, including desk research, interviews, and a small survey.
We have examined the existing legislation at 4 levels of government relevant to the employment process. We also have conducted interviews with persons with disabilities, different institutions at all levels competent for the employment processes, and institutions dealing with the rights of persons with disabilities. Collected data was analyzed using the PASS methodology, which enabled us to assess and analyze the data in the context of the wider environment.
Key findings are complex government structure in accordance with Bosnia and Herzegovina Constitution different employment procedures in 4 levels of government, strategy of public administration reform, initiated digitalization, human right information system, and e-application for employment. We have to emphasize violation of human rights of persons with disabilities in the public employment procedures.
The problems need to be addressed systematically. The legislation in Bosnia and Herzegovina at all levels should be harmonized with the EU requirements. This is one precondition for a further digitalization of the employment system that needs to be accompanied by an awareness-raising campaign about benefits of the transition to digital system. The process of digital tools should be regulated by the law as well as the process of collecting personal data. The technological aspect of this policy problem could be partly solved through introduction of a digital platform of recruitment process in the public sector. This digital platform could serve to uniformly inform and to report about all vacancies in public administration bodies, institutions, and enable potential candidates to apply online.
If our governments hold on to the current system, then the costs remain higher for potential users. In case authorities put in place digital solution and web-based modalities in the recruitment process in public sector, then the cost will just initially increase for the public administration, but they will immediately be lower for the citizens. In this case, everyone saves time and effort, and the savings made in this regard are hard to estimate, but it is certain that they would benefit all of those who are involved in this process.
In order to respect human rights in recruitment process in public sector, there is a need for greater cooperation between decision makers, employers, public sector auditing, and disability groups in order to improve employment procedures. Secondly, the existing websites of public institutions, especially civil service agencies, would need to be upgraded with digital features, digital tools that are essential for persons with disabilities and which can enable access to information.
Based on our research and analysis presented previously, the following steps are what we recommend. First of all, we wish to recommend establishing educational and employment center, which would provide digital tools for all, including persons with disability, generate statistical data, and educate the public on public service processes.
As a precondition, improve and harmonize legislation to enable introduction of digital tools and using the data gathered through this process, and have one set of procedures at all levels of government in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
The digital services should be mobile-friendly and accessible for persons with disabilities. These services should automatically inform all applicants on status of their application in open and transparent manner, while ensuring privacy of personal data as described by law. How to upgrade accessibility for persons with disability? We need to create or to upgrade legal framework in line with rehabilitation, retraining, and additional opportunities for education for persons with disabilities, and to increase efficient monitoring of all legislation. Also, to increase the transparency of websites of public institutions and to upgrade them and to include web accessibility guidelines. Also, it is important to improve digitalized advertisements for persons with disabilities and to make access to buildings and services in process of employment for persons with disabilities. Also, it is important to improve knowledge of civil servants about needs of persons with disabilities and that civil servants are able to make documents for visually impaired persons. So
what are the next steps? The first one would be the harmonization of regulation that provide equal access and rights to BIH citizen in the employment process.
The second step would be improve interinstitutional cooperation and create a greater degree of harmonization in recruitment procedures and use of applicants' data.
Have a systematic approach to the recruitment process in public sector with clear employment strategies, and finally, digitalize the recruitment process in the public sector.
Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions.